So, how to be a trans ally number 6. Make sure if you make a mistake, apologize, but then learn from those mistakes and move on.
Definitely. I like Karen. You had a really good explanation for that one, didn't you?
Oh, we were talking before, weren't we? Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to dominate everything. So, it's important when you apologize to avoid um, blaming the offended party by saying, like, I'm sorry you felt that way. Because all you've done is say, well, the real problem is that you can't shut up, or you're
Yeah.
making. So you say, I'm sorry that I acted in such a way that is offensive. But the other thing that people look for in an apology is actionable items that you list that you're going to do. Like, I'm sorry I did X, Y, and Z. Having talked to people who are affected by it, I now understand that it is very offensive what I said, and I was wrong. In the future, I will blah 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 blah. That way we know, and this is just good apologies in general. That you really do mean it, that you learned something and you plan to move on, and you're not just trying to sweep it under the rug. But I think, Karen, you had a point about taking the spotlight via your apology.
Well, there was two things. I mean, very much, if you've hurt someone, and again, I think we're almost doing a lesson here in how to apologize for real. If you've hurt or upset someone, the attention should be on them and what they need, not you and what you need. And even if you feel really guilty, don't make it about your guilt and your pain, because you've hurt the other person. And quite often, especially with trans and non-binary people, they just want you to shut up about it. You've said sorry. They don't need it 5 hours later. Mm-hmm. That's about your guilt and your pain and the fact you're not dealing with.
Right.
And that's the other thing. You will make a mistake because we all make mistakes. Absolutely. That's part of life. Mm-hmm. The analogy I used before with Debbie was, if you're at work and you're going down the corridor and you bump into someone, it's going to happen. You said, well, obviously not at the moment because social distance, but usually you just say, sorry, fine, move on. Mm-hmm. If every time you went past that person, you bumped into them, there's probably a problem. And it's not okay to just keep saying sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
sorry,
finish up. I was just going to say, I think what we're talking about is you're talking about apologizing to a person, which is obviously quite important. And in my experience is apologizing for having gotten found out, like on social media and stuff like that, and doing a more general apology. So no, I completely understand and agree that, yeah, when it's just, oh, hey, I used the wrong pronouns in this conversation. Hey, oh no, I caught myself. I'm really sorry about that. And then just move on.
Yeah. Like we're not gonna bring it up like continuously every time we see you. It's like we accept that people are going to make mistakes, and that's how we learn. But learn from it. Don't keep going there.
Yeah.
I suppose it's being proactive rather than reactive, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's people be reactive when they make a mistake with somebody who identifies as trans because they may be aware of the fact that they, live through a lot of prejudice. They may have a higher chance of having a mental health problem. So they maybe want to wrap them in cotton wool, if you like, and I don't make a mistake. And it's like, well, just get over yourself with that for a minute and try and think of proactive ways of supporting these people, who may, and by doing some of the things that we've already said in terms of putting your pronouns in your bios and just becoming more aware, and that way you're being more proactive, and then you're less likely to make those mistakes further down the line, and then you're less likely to feel bad yourself when if you do make an error, because if you do make an error, yourself, you've done the prep work, if you like, and it was just a human error, and as opposed to an error born out of ignorance.